Hi and welcome to Java Eclipse point of sales system. Let me show you guys how this works. Okay, right here we have the table there, and that is where the receipt is, and over here we have just the numbers, number where you can select whatever the customer has deposited, whatever amount deposited. So let's assume I go in here and just reset the old lot, or first of all let's see and make sure the remove item works. There we go, remove item, and let's see that. Check out these and remove. You see that? So the whatever amount deposited is actually taken away from the item that is removed from the list, and we can reset the whole lot. And let's select new customers details there, or new customer purchase, and there we go, that is it right there. And supposing this customer wants to pay by cash, and we just need to select maybe about 60, let's say 60 pounds plus there. And how much do we have left? We have 3 pounds left. Okay, and one other thing that we can do is we can print out this whole system. Just click on print, and there we go. So I'm going to print it out as a PDF file. Click on print, and that is it then. And I'm going to save it straight onto my desktop here. So let's click on save there. I should be able to open that anytime from now, and it's coming up. There we go, look at that. And that is the receipt generated by the system right there. You can compare the receipt to the item selected here. And okay, let's exit out and start work with a new tutorial entirely. So I'm going to exit out, so click on exit there, and right there let's go to file, new project, and I'm just going to select Java, and I'll just give that a name. Let's just say Java Eclipse POS there, and I'm going to click on finish. There we go. So let's go straight into this package explorer and look for Java. That's it right there, Java Eclipse POS. So I'm going to right click on it and let's select new, and let's go scroll right down. We then select other, and in there what you guys need is window builder. If you don't have a window builder, I actually have a tutorial on how to reinstall your window builder. Okay, that's fine. Let's select, you make sure you go into the swing. Okay, this how it's gonna look like. Window builder, drop it down, go into swing designer, this very one, and let's select application window and click on next. Yeah, I'm just gonna give that a name. I'm gonna call it exactly the same name, Java Eclipse POS, and let's click on finish. There we go. Now our application is ready. If you click in here, you should be able to see the form. That's the form right there. I'm going to right click on that form and let's select set layout as absolute layer. Okay, now let's go straight into the code so that we can enhance the form. So I'm going to go straight into the code right there. This is the code showing us the coordinate of the form. So I'm going to delete that and delete that as well. Make the coordinates 0 by 0, and this is the size of my form or my frame. I'm going to make it 1450, while the height I'm going to make that 800. Okay, now go back to my design. Right in there you should be able to see that. Look at that. Okay, now we now want to go straight into the palette here. Inside the palette, that's where you get all the tools that is required. I'm going to collapse that for now. let's come right here. The first one I need is this very one. You see the panel, click on J panel, just draw it there. That is my J panel in there. If you want, you can go straight into the structure there, goes right into the border here, and let's change the appearance of that J panel. I'm going to drop this down. Let's select bevel and make sure it's lowered. That is it, lowered. That's fine. There we go, and you should be able to see it lowered now. There we go, it's lowered. Right click on it and let's change it to set layout as absolute layout. There. And at the same time, I'm just going to right click on it and copy it. Copy and paste it right here. And paste another one right underneath here. Paste. There. Okay, let's paste this one right here, and I'm going to make the size of that about let's just drag it that much and maybe just change that to about that, and yeah, something like that. Just drag it all the way right here. There we go. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for this very one here. Move it right here. Just drag it here. Okay, that's not too bad. There. Okay, that's fine. Now the next thing I want to do now is to add a table here somewhere. So let's look for the table. Let's see, the table should be here somewhere. Table. There we go, that's the table there. Just drag it, draw it here, right here. There, that's the table. I'm going to right click on that table and let's select where is it? Okay, I think it's surround width. I'm going to select, I think that is it, scroll panel. Yeah, that is it. I'm right inside it. The table will be there. Okay, and there I'm now going to go to the model of the table here. Make sure the table is selected, and I'm going to add columns. The columns will be 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so let's change the names of the columns. Let's add a column there so that I know what I can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to add item in there, or let's say items. Item or items, whatever. And here I'm going to change that to quantity. And while here I'll just change that to amount. Right. I think that is fine. Okay, the quantity, that's for the quantity. We can let's just reduce the quantity about maybe 60, because we only need 1 in there. And these we can, yeah, we can increase this a little bit more, make that about maybe 120. Okay, that's fine, that's much better. And this one, okay, that's fine. Click on OK. Right, that is fine. Okay, now underneath here I'm going to add a text box in here, and the text box will just be, I'm going to change the text data I need to barcode. So come in here, change that to barcode, make sure it's selected, come right here where we have text, the font, click on the font, and I've already installed barcode on my system. Just click on that and select C, that is the barcode in there, and let's make that about maybe 30 something readable. Okay, 36, yeah, that's it right there. I think that's good enough for me, and that is it. Okay, now in here we're going to add buttons. Where's buttons? There we go, add a button here. But first thing first, before I add a button, let's delete that button. I'm going to change all of these to right click and let's select set layer, absolute layer, this one as well. Repeat the same thing, make sure it is absolute layer, and this one underneath here is absolute layer as well, absolute layer. Okay, now we can start adding the buttons. Go back in there. Now we need buttons. Where is it now? Here. I will need about 3 of those. Change the font style to maybe 48. That might be too much, but that's all right. Okay, and that will be the text content, and that will be, let's change that to 7. Can I see the 7? Okay, that's fine. So I'm just gonna copy it. Right click on it, copy, and let's paste. Paste, so there, and paste another one. Come on, paste that. Paste, and another one here. So select the 3 buttons, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Now I need another 6 more, so let's select the 6 buttons. Yeah, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. There we go. That is it. All my buttons are in place now. All I just need to do is to change the data in there. So this one will be 8, 9, and this is going to be 4, 5 here, 6, we have 1, we have 2, 3, and here we have 0. Here is going to be decimal place, and here will be clear, and this is there, decimal point right there. Okay, I'll do that again. What's going on? Alright, that is fine. Okay, that's all taken care of. I now need some buttons here. I'm going to make that maybe about 5 by 5. I really don't need anything here, so let's copy that very one. Right click, paste there, and let's increase the size of this button. Something about that. Yeah, get rid of the text contents, and now copy that very button. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. We have 2 here. And let's see, do we have enough room here? Okay, move this up a little bit and paste another one there. Control there. Alright, up a bit. Okay, select 1, 2, 3. Ctrl C and paste. Paste. We have 1 here and another one here. Right, now I'm going to need 1 more here, which means I need enough room. Yeah, we may have to reduce this a little bit. Just drag this that much. Yeah, okay, seems to have enough room now. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, paste. Okay, now all the buttons are in place, and right underneath here we need, I'm going to need another panel. Let's come in here, P for panel. There we go. That's it. Paste that here. And go to the properties of that very panel, and I'm going to change the border to bevel. Bevel lowered. That's fine. And there is lowered. Right click on it and select set layout, absolute layout. That's fine, taken care of. Bring it down a little bit. Right, and just copy it across. Ctrl C, copy, paste. 1 more. Ctrl V, paste. There. So I have all my, yeah, that is fine. Bring this down here a little bit more. Just move this, yeah, and move this as well. Okay. Okay, now let's add label here. So I'm going to, let's look for a label. There we go. There's a label here. And I'm also going to add a text box here. See, both the label and the text box, I'm going to increase the font size. Let's come in and make that maybe about 24. Yeah, 24 bold, and that is it. So this text box, drag it that much. And now change this text box to, I want to change that to tags. Right there. Okay, let's copy both. Control C, copy, paste, and that will be for subtotal, and paste again. That is for, yep, that is for total here. Yeah. And this is going to be for subtotal. Right. And this will be known as, let's change the variable name of that to txt or maybe jtxt. jtxt, there, subtotal. This one is going to be jtxt total. jtxt total. Right. And this one is going to be jtxt tags. jtxt tags. There. Okay, now let's come in here. We need, I might as well just copy 1, 2, 1, 2. Control C and paste that in here. Paste. Let's do that again. I think I haven't copied it right. Copy. Copy both. And paste that right in here. Paste. Right. And this is going to be known as display change. So let's call that, no, here, display cache. This is change. Underneath here, that'll be change. And I am going to change this one here. Let's come in here. Copy that and paste it up here. That would be payment method. Or let's just call it pay method so that I have enough room. Pay method. Right. And let's get this one right. Change that to lowercase. Okay, now I'm going to add a combo box here. Let's look for one combo box. There we go. Paste that right here. And I will change the size of that to 24. Combo box 24. Okay, bold, that's fine. Now let's go to the model of the combo box right here. Click on it, and I'm going to press enter space there. The first one is going to be cash, Visa card. Then here it's going to be MasterCard. There, and click on OK. Remember, I came straight to the model here. Okay, so all of that should appear in here. So drag this and let's position it properly. Drag it that much. and these two as well. Just drag them down much so that we have enough room for them. Okay, increase the size of that. Alright, that is it. So here I'm going to add some buttons here. Come back in here, buttons, B for buttons here. We have a button here. Alright, so we have one, and I'm going to copy this. Copy, paste, and paste again. Right, and let's paste two buttons here, 1 and 2. 1, increase it that much, and copy this very one and paste it here. I'm going to select the 5 buttons and just move it up a little bit. Okay, all done. So let's run this program and see how that looks like. Save it first and run. There we go. That's how the design is looking now. Okay, so let's change the details here around. Stop that. Select the 5 buttons and change the font size on them to something readable as well. I'm going to make that bold, and that will be 24 as well. Okay, now come down here, select this very one. I'm going to call that pay. Come right down here, just change that to pay, and the variable name is going to be JBT and pay. Variable name, JBT and pay. This is going to be print, JBT and print. Test content will be print. There, and here I'm going to change that to, we have that print, and that's going to be reset. JBT and reset. Come on, change the variable name to JBT and reset. This will be exit. JBTN exit, and the text content to be exit. There. Finally, this will be remove item. Okay, and the text content of the variable name, I'm going to change that to JBTN remove. That is it, all taken care of. Alright, let's run it and start work with some coding. Run. Right there, that is how it's looking now, guys. So I'm going to start work with some coding now. So log off. Okay, let's start with these very numbers here. So, and let's take care of those. First of all, let's just correct these few errors here. That should have been 9. And there's another one here that is, oh, this is 1. What was I looking at? And this one is 5. There. Yeah, that's it. 3. Okay, so let's double click on the very first button here, 7. I'm going to write in here. Oh, it doesn't have a name neither, so let's go back in there. I actually prefer to give them a name. So this is going to become BTN, let's say JBTN 7, and the rest is just going to be JBTN 8 and so on. JBTN 8 here. JBTN 994, and I'm just going to speed up the naming. Okay, they all have a name now, so let's start with number 7 here. So double click on that, and right here inside the procedural area of number 7, first of all, I'm going to declare a string variable there. I'm going to call that enter number, and enter number equals jtxt display dot get text. So let's see, I don't think I have named my txt. Yeah, I don't think so. Let's come in here, grab that. Okay, let's see which one. That should have been this display. Oh, this is meant to be display. Okay, my bad. Paste that in there. I might as well name this as well. So this one is going to be jtxt, that is change. And this one right here, I'm just going to call that jcbo payment. Okay, I believe I've named all of these other ones here. Okay then, let's go back to number 7. Double click on number 7 again. Now, see, the error is gone. So right in there, I'm now going to use an if statement. If, enter a bracket in there, and if enter number equals nothing, so I am comparing the value inside enter number, then enter, and enter curly braces there, my jtxt display. I would like it to set the following value. Set text, and what text am I setting? It's going to be the text right on top of that button there. So that I'm going to grab this button, jbtn button 7 dot get text. See, now you guys understand why I want to name them, so that I know which components I'm actually referring to. So right, come down here and just say else if, enter curly braces again, enter number equals all of these. So I might as well just grab everything in here, grab that, paste it right in here. There, enter number equals get whatever I have inside the txt, and then say plus whatever I have on my text box, sorry, on my button. Yeah, that's my button right there, and then enter semicolon. And right below it, I'm now going to enter my display here. That is going to be enter number. So grab that and come right down here, press enter, and this is going to be sets enter number s, and what I'm setting is going to be the value inside enter number, and that should take care of my very first button. So I'm going to copy that. However, let's just save and try out number 7. And click on 7. You see that? 7, 7, 7 all the way. Okay, let's take care of button 8. Double click on button 8. Come right down here. Paste what I've just copied. Change the button to 8. And this will be 8 as well. Good. Let's go to 9. Double click on 9. Paste. And change the text content, the name to 9, I mean 9, and a 9 here as well. Let's align this properly. Now the next one is going to be 4. Come down here, paste that in there, and change that to 4. The text is, the button name is 4, and we have 5. Paste. That's 5 there. 6. We have 6 here. So I guess you guys get the whole idea. So I may have to just speed that up. This is 6. Change that to 6. 6 and 6 here. So let's speed that up. And yeah, that is it all done, apart from the 0 and these other 2 here. I'm going to double click on the 0. Is the same, exactly the same lines of code. So come down here and there. So let's change the value of that 0 to the text on the button. That is 0 as well, and this one will be 0. That is it. That takes care of that. Now let's take care of this clear. Double click on clear. So what I want the clear to do is to actually get rid of whatever I have in there. So I'm going to say jtxt display dot set text, and I think that's going to be null. There. Now let's repeat the same thing for change. jtxt change. Repeat exactly the same thing for change. Right there. Okay, that takes care of that. Now let's take care of decimal place, and there. So bring that down here and right in there. Press enter. Okay, now let's use an if statement to find out what is in there. If not jtxt display dot, that will be dot get text. Grab that. Okay, and dot, if it contains the following there. If it contains decimal place, and I want jtxt, grab all of these, paste that in there. jtxt.set text equals jtxt dot grab whatever is in there plus whatever we have inside or on the display of the button itself. Okay, we say dot get text, the text content that is on the button, and then that with that I'm talking about the decimal place on the button. So that's what I've just done in here, and that takes care of the decimal point. Okay, and let's run it and see how that's going to look like. Let's save that, run. There we go. 98. Let's enter decimal, and there, let's try another decimal. That is fine, working as expected. Okay, clear. That is good. Let's enter some value in here as well, and clear. So that is working as expected. Let's exit, and what I want to do now is, let's go right up here, and I want to create the following functions. So I'm going to go right up here. Yeah, okay, right underneath the initialize here. This is what I'm going to do. Let's come right down here, enter. Let me just enter a line here, and I'm going to call that functions. Right, so I'll need 2 of those really. So let's copy this. It's going to be for the very first one and the second one. Okay, right. So for the very first function, what I want to use that for is just to add up whatever I have on the third column here. The third column in this very table. I want to add that up. Okay, so let's do that. So back up there. So right here, I'm going to first of all declare the following. Let's say double. I'm going to call that sum. Hold on. Let's do this first. Let's say public. What shall I call it? Public void item cost. Okay. And instead of just, I will declare the variable in there, and I'm going to initialize it with a 0. Okay, that's the very first one, and let's enter it actually in a curly braces. Okay, and here I should enter parentheses, so that takes care of that. So now that is my variable declared in there, and it's initialized with 0. So let's use a for loop now. One other thing, let's see. Okay, let's just use a for loop. Say for, I'm going to call that int I, because I haven't actually declared an I there. So I'm going to say int I equals 0, enter semicolon. Now I'm going to end up and say I is less than, let's go for table. I think that is the name, table dot, okay, it's right. Let's say get row. Where's the row? Row counts, and this row count, let's say comma I plus plus, and close that. All right, now what we want to do is, let's say we say int table for I equals 0, I less than table dot get row count, and okay, let's open up the braces in there. Now I've got that sorted, we're going to say sum equals sum plus, it's a double dot pass, and what am I passing? That's going to be double as well. And what I am passing is actually whatever I have inside my table, so it's going to be table dot get the value, dot get value. And what is the value that I'm getting? That value is going to be I. Okay, no, not one I, there should be an I, and here is going to be the column, and that column that I'm talking of is column number 2, because when you look at my table here, let's come in here, the table is 0, that's the first column, 1, second column, 2, column number 2. This is where the calculation is going to start from. And that reminds me, you see this table, I'm going to get rid of this column in there, so I might as well just do that now that I've spotted that. Come in here and just get rid of that. So you see the row, make that 0 there, and that is it. So column 0, 1, 2. Now back into my function here. So that's the column 2, because I'll be calculating all the content inside column 2, and then I also want to convert it dot to string. There we go. There, enter semicolon in there. So that should take care of my calculation. Whatever is inside number 2 is sum up and stored right inside sum. Okay, now I'm going to enter all of these straight into my, let's say, jtxt subtotal dot set. And what am I setting in there? Is going to be double dot string, double dot to string. Yeah. And what is that meant to be? It's going to be sum. So just double click and grab the sum. So the sum is now stored inside the subtotal. Okay. Now, one other thing I want to do is I want to then convert everything inside subtotal. So to do that, let me declare another. Let's say double, just to get all the stuff that I have inside sums. Double, and I'll call that cTotal. And this cTotal is going to be double dots. Let's pass whatever we have inside subtotal. So I'm going to grab all of these here, paste it right here, grab subtotal, paste it right here. In this case, this is going to be get and enter something, parentheses there, and then cover that up. There we go. So whatever we have inside the subtotal is now stored inside cTotal. Now let's create another double. This double I'm going to call the ctax. Ctax is going to be equals to cTotal. Let's multiply that by tax. So let me make up a tax value in here. I'm going to say, let's say double. I will say tax, and that is equals 3.9. There, initialize it with 3.9. And I'm going to grab that very tax now. Grab it and just paste it right here. That will be cTotal multiplied by tax, and let's divide that by 100. There we go. So that will give us the tax, and this tax is now stored in here. Okay, now we know the tax. We already have our subtotal. That's no problem. So let's do one thing now. Now I want to enter all of this inside the text box. So let's go back here and just say string I tax total. That will be equals string dot format. And without formatting, I want to convert it to pound sign. So I might as well just enter a pound sign here and %, and let's make that 2 decimal space, and that should denote floats, right? And close that up. And what do I need in there? That's going to be the tax. So I'm going to grab this ctax, paste the ctax right in here. Now this I tax total, and I want to assign that into my txt. Let's say jtxt tax dot set, and that is going to be equals I tax total. There, now I've achieved one. Okay, now let's repeat the same thing for subtotal and the total. So in the case of subtotal, I might as well just copy this and change the name around. Come right down here, paste that. This becomes subtotal. And what do I want inside subtotal. In the case of subtotal, what I actually want in there is going to be, I'm going to call that I subtotal. So change this to I subtotal, and I subtotal is right in here. Now, what are we officially converting? We are converting C total. Let's go back. We are converting whatever we have inside C total here, this very one. So I'm going to copy that and paste that in here. Okay, now whatever I have in here is now stored inside this string character, which is now assigned back to the subtotal, but with the pound sign. Okay, let's do the same thing for the total. I'm going to grab all of these, come right down here, paste. This become, I'm going to change that to I total, and this will be I total, and this becomes jtxt total. Okay, now I'm going to I'm going to add C total plus C tax, and that will give us the total amount. So we're adding subtotal and tax, and that's all there is to that. Now all of these that we've done, we now want to be able to store them inside the barcode reader. So come down here, paste that in there, and I'm going to just create something here. We'll call it barcode. Yeah, and this barcode will store everything straight inside. Barcode for me, and this is barcode here. In the case of the barcode, I don't need a pound sign, so I'm just going to change this one to total. Total is there. That is total plus tax, and that takes care of the barcode, so that is fine. Alright, so the function that will take care of the calculation is taken care of. Okay, let's take a good look at it from the top here and bring it down here. There, that's all there is to it. Okay, the other function I'm going to create now is going to be for the change. So I'm going to come here. So let's just grab this. I'll grab all of this. There, come right down here. If a customer deposits some amounts, they will need a change. So let's create a function in here and close that here. So the sum as usual initialized with 0, total tax is initialized with 3.9, and here let's declare another one. Let's say double. That will be cash. Let's say cash, that's the amount deposited, equals, let's go for double dot pass. Grab that and come right down here, double dot pass, and what are we passing? That is going to be whatever we have inside txt display, jtxt display dot get text. There. Okay, now close that up. There. Alright, now come down here. Okay, we're having this sign because we haven't used any of those, so we're going to make use of them now. First thing first, let's use a for loop. I'm going to grab this for loop here. Just grab everything, maybe grab all of these. There we go. Right up to here. Yeah, up to here. Grab all of these. I'm going to delete what I don't need, so we're typing. Now here's that underneath here, and I'm going to get rid of these for now. Yes, get rid of that, we don't need it. This is all I need. Okay, C tax is this, so this total I'm going to change that to sum. This very one, grab that, paste that in here. There. Oh, come on. Let's see. Tax. There we go. C tax. This, no, it's not a C tax, it is tax actually. Tax. This very tax here. Multiply that by sum. And we divide it by 100, and that is it. Okay, now let's say double another variable. I'm going to call that C change, customer change. That will be equals cost minus the sum plus C total, C tax, and come out of it there. So we add up the sum and the tax, we deduct that from whatever the customer, whatever amount the customer handed over. So we're gonna now come in here and say string, let's call that change, maybe change given, and change given equals string dot format, and that is going to be pound sign. So we can just grab all of these here, grab that and paste that in here. There we go. And change, C change, bring that over here. There, enter semicolon here. Alright, so we now want every information in here inside our jtxt change dot set. And what are we setting in there? That is going to be change given. Grab this and paste that in there. Right. Okay, that is the function that will calculate whatever amount customer handed over, and this will be deducted. Whatever is handed over is deducted from the total cost, and then change is given. Right, now that is done. Let's go back in here. Right, you see these buttons here? Let's add some images to them. And right here are the images I intend to add. There they are. So let's start with the very first one. Okay, let's say minimize that. Select this very one, and I will now go into icon. Okay, make sure the object is selected. That is it, the icon. Go in there, and let's give it a name as well. I'm going to call that JBTN. Let's say that is going to be cappuccino. No, the cappuccino, there should be a U in there. Yeah, that is it. So this one, make sure it is selected, and let's go in here. You see the icon, click on the icon, and once you click on the icon, we now want absolute part. So I'm going to select this, and let's browse, and that is my cappuccino. Is £2.57. So there we go, and make sure the absolute part is there. Right there. So the next one, let's go for something else, maybe canned drink. I'm going to call that JBTN, canned drinks. And let's look for the icon of that. That is the icon. Click on that and select the absolute part, and click on that. Where is canned drink? There we go. Something is 50 something p there, and make that absolute. Click. And the next one, let's go for something burger or maybe cake. Absolute. And where is it? So maybe I should settle for, let's come down a little bit, settle for that cake. Yep, absolute part. There we go. Now, what else do we need? Let's go for maybe coffee. Select that absolute part. And yeah. Okay, let's just speed up that of the images now that you guys get the whole idea. Okay, and all the images are now on each button. So now let's say all the buttons now have their own various images. So I'm going to double click on this very first one. The price is £2.57. Double click on that, and we will declare a variable right in there. So we'll come right down here. I think it's called cappuccino. So I'm going to say dim double, and that is going to be price of item. That is equals £2.57 there. So price is now initialized. Now let's grab my table. So the table itself, where I want to store everything, I'm going to say default table mode. That will be equals, let's put this in a bracket here, copy that, paste that in here, there, and that is going to be equals the name of my table, which is just called table dot get model right there, and then enter semicolon. Okay, now we now want this model is of dot add rules. There we go. That add rules, and what are we adding? That is going to be, let's say new object, and that object is going to be in an array. There we go. Come on, let's do that again. New object, and that's going to be in an array. Then enter coil braces here, close up that coil braces, close this up, and inside the coil braces that I've entered in here, I am now going to enter as follows. Let's close all of this in here. The very first one, that is known as cappuccino. I'm going to grab the cappuccino, that is the name. Let's place that in quotes there. Cappuccino, come out of it, and how many do I want? I actually want, I'm going to say there's going to only be one, and come out of it, comma, then we enter the price of each item. Grab that, paste that in here, there we go, and that takes care of that. Now this is where we will use our function. We now want to call the function to carry out the calculation. So item cost, carry out the calculation, at the same time paste the cost on the inside the table, or on the table, and that's all there is to that. Look at it. So I'm going to run it. Let's run it and see how that's going to work anyway. For the very first one, run. Okay, if we click on this, we should be able to see the item, how many, and the amount. There we go. Look at that, guys. And again, and you see the barcode itself is now changing and also telling us the price or the cost. There we go. Look at that. So all I just need to do now is to copy this and use it to change these ones around. That is it. Then here we will be dealing with the total and so on. This one is working as well. That is good. Our receipt is not working yet. Okay, go back in there, copy all of this. Now go back to the image, double click on the can, that's 57, paste, and that is 57. Change that to 0. 57, that's supposed to be canned drinks. Come in here and change this to canned drinks, and I've changed the variable as well. That is taken care of. Now let's take care of the next one right beside it. Cake. Double click, come right here, it's just called cake. Paste that in there. And how much is the cake really? So the cake is £2.75. So that is just cake. There. Copy. The next one as coffee. What is it called? It's just called coffee. So come down here and let's change that to coffee. Copy. Coffee. I'll undo that. There's been an error there. So this is just going to be coffee. There. How much is this coffee? That is £1.90. £1.90. Coffee taken care of. Now let's take care of the next one right beside the coffee. That's to do with cake. Red cake is called. Come right down here. I guess you guys get the whole idea. So I'm going to have to speed this up. This is red cake. And the cost of the red cake is what? £2.45. £2.45. Let me run it before I speed it up so that you guys get the whole idea. Let's see. That is cappuccino, canned drinks, cakes, coffee, red cake. So let's speed that up now. Come straight to the next one, and I'm going to grab all of these and double click on this, paste it right in here, and that is angel cake. Grab the angel cake, paste it right in here, and I guess you guys get the whole idea. That is $2.90. Okay, let's speed that up. Okay, I've finished coding all of the buttons, so let's run it and see how that's gonna look like. This is the last one. Run. There we go, and look at that. Check that out, guys. That's good. And there. So all we need to do is to be able to add this up. If we enter cash, or if it's Visa card, we don't need to enter anything in here, or MasterCard, only cash. There. Okay, let's exit out. First thing first, let's do this. See the reset button. Let's take care of the reset. Double click on the reset. There. And in the reset, I'm going to need the following data. So let's say JTXT. So the very first one, I'm going to change that to display dot set text equals no. There. That should be inside the bracket though. Equals no. That's the very first one taken care of. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other text, or for the other text box. And that is it. All taken care of for all the text box. So let's do one for our table there. That is for my table there. Okay. So now let's take care of pay. Yeah, let's take care of pay. Double click on pay. Okay, right inside pay here, let's use an if statement. If j txt, no, it's not a txt, it's a combo, j cbo payment, yeah, dot, so I'm going to say dot get selected item, and this selected item dot equals, and what is it equals of cash? So let's say cash, because cash is in, yeah, come out of it there. There we go. So in that case, get hold of the function called change. Okay, let's close this. There's meant to be one more closing there. Okay, else when I want you to clear out as follows. So let me come right down here and just say else clear the following: txt jtxt change dot set text, that is equals nothing there. And we'll repeat exactly the same thing for the next one here. Okay, let's just clear it. Right, the next one is going to be display. Grab all of this, paste it right underneath here, and this is going to be display. There we go. Right. Okay, now let's take care of the, let's come in here and take care of, 1, 2 is taken care of. Let's take care of print. I may have to speed up the print. Double click on that and right in here, there we go, that is print, taken care of from here down here. Alright, so let's go back in here. Now that print is taken care of, 1, 2, 3 done. Now let's take care of remove item. Double click on remove item. So I'm going to need the code inside pay. Let's grab all of that, grab that, and go back in here. Double click on remove item. Yeah, in case of remove item, first of all I'm going to paste the stuff that I've copied and in here, and the remove item itself is going to be whatever we have inside the table here. Okay, we will remove that. That is it right here. Then we call this very first function up there. Okay, so I think we only have one more, which is the exits. But first thing, let's save all of this. So have a good look at the remove item lines of codes there, from here up to here. That's the remove item lines of codes. Okay, we call the function to deduct whatever we've removed. That's all there is to that. So run. So enter items in there. That's good. Now let's select an item to remove item. There we go. That's working. There, see that? And the cost is actually deducted. Okay, so let's see, print, click on print. That is print is working. So if I click on Adobe, it's selected, so click on print, and that's it. It's actually prompting us to save. So I'm just going to call it Java printing. So click on that, save, and that should open up now. Okay, there we go. That is it. So let's minimize that. Alright, the printing is working. As you can see, the item in here are right in here in my PDF file. So close that. Now let's take care of exit. So in the case of exit, what the first thing I'm going to do is to create a private. Let's go right up here. Let's see, it might be there though. Oh, okay, it's already there. Okay, private JFrame. So go back in there, inside exit, double click on that. So with the exit, come right here, inside the procedural area of the exit. So we will start by, let's say, frame equals new frame, new JFrame. And this new JFrame, the alias is going to be exit. There. Okay. The next thing is use an if statement. If J option plain dot show confirm dialog, and in there that is going to be the frame itself. Let's say frame and comma, and I'm just going to say confirm if you want to exit. Confirm if you want to exit, and come out of it, comma, enter the name of my project. That is going to be the title, point of sale. There. Okay, enter a comma here and press enter. Here, comma, press enter. Go to the next line, and in here I'm going to enter J option plain again. Dots, yes, no option. Yes, no option here. Grab that, and J option. So equals J option dot yes no option again. Yeah. There. Come out of it, just press enter curly braces. In that case, it's going to be system dot exit, and that is all there is to that. There we go. So I've just taken care of the lines of code for exit as well. So all we then need to do now is just to run our program. Save it first, run, and let's try it out. Select whatever item you want. We might as well just select it all to make sure it's working. There we go. That is it. All is working fine. Look at that. That's the cost. Let's assume £70 was deposited, and cash, make sure cash is selected. Now click on pay. There. So this is actually deducted from 70, and that's what we end up with. We can reset the whole lot. Reset. There we go. Enter new item. There we go, guys. And because of that, let's say the he is not entering any cash, so that's fine, nothing will happen. Supposing we enter Visa card, nothing will happen as well because that's a Visa card. But if we enter cash, that means we have to enter whatever amount we've been paid and click on total, and there we go. And we can also delete. Come in here, click on delete item, just remove item that we don't want, and you see the change is now increasing. So with that, guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. And once more, thank you to, I'm going to say thank you to KD, thank you to Douglas Osman, thank you Sam Lude, and thank you Dominic for being a channel member. And you all have a nice day now, and bye for now.